Coming up on Sports Paws, we'll have an in-depth look at how the volleyball team did in the MAC tournament.
And the women's ice hockey team participated in the Nutmeg Classic.
Plus, we'll have beat reporters live for a mailbag segment and holiday hoops.
Coming up right now on Sports Paws.
We hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and are getting in the holiday spirit. Happy to be with you for the final episode of Sports Paws this semester.
He's Beckett, Calkins, and I'm Ehlers. While everyone was away for Thanksgiving break, the athletics did not stop here on campus.
Following a 16-2 conference record and securing the number 2 seed, the volleyball team took a trip down the Merritt to Fairfield for the conference tournament.
Freddie Martin has everything you need to know about the volleyball MAC championships.
Thanks, guys. The Quinnipiac volleyball team was able to take home some regular season awards prior to their semifinal matchup versus the Rider Bronx. Starting with the All-MAC teams, 3 Bobcats were named to the first team, those being Italian opposite hitter Elena Giacomini, joined alongside Turkish twins Yamir and Damla Ganesh. Giacomini had a strong final year in Hamden, recording 482 kills during the regular season, good for first among the MAC. The graduate student also racked up 317 digs and 42 aces from the service line. Yamir Ganesh finished her regular season campaign with 362 kills, along with tallying 299 digs and 32 service aces. Her twin sister Damla Ganesh didn't just earn the All-MAC first team honors. She was named as the MAC Sitter of the Year for the 3rd straight season. She recorded 1,053 assists during her final regular season stint with the Bobcats, along with digging out 290 balls and had 39 aces from the service line. Rounding out the regular season awards, Quinnipiac head coach Kyle Robinson was named to his first ever MAC Coach of the Year. He led the Bobcats to a 19-12 overall record and a stellar 16-2 conference record. The Bobcats would have to wait a couple days to figure out who their semifinal opponent was going to be. They had all eyes on the matchup between Rider and Siena. Rider Bronx had no problem taking care of the Siena Saints, sweeping them in 3 straight sets, 3-0. And while Quinnipiac knew who they were taking on in the semifinal matchup, number 1 ranked Fairfield had to wait to see who they were going to take on in the semifinals between Niagara and Canisius. Canisius came into Niagara on the road and defeated the Purple Eagles by a final score of 3-1. Moving on to the semifinal round, the Fairfield Stags defended their home turf against Canisius, sweeping them in 3 straight sets. Moving on to the second semifinal matchup, the Rider Bronx were able to take care of Quinnipiac by a final score of 3-1. Quinnipiac was able to take the first set, but Rider stunned the Bobcats in the next 3 sets, being able to dominate them on all sides of the court. MAC championship matchup was set. It was the Fairfield Stags versus the Rider Bronx, and Fairfield was able to defend their home turf, winning their 3rd straight MAC championship. They swept Rider in 3 straight sets and shared the wealth among their team, having 6 players record 5 or more kills in the match. Shifting focus back to Quinnipiac, there will be 6 students graduating in the spring, but head coach Kyle Robinson has his eyes set on getting the Bobcats back in the MAC championship game next year. That's all the time I have here at Burke on Court. Back to you guys at the desk.
Switching from volleyball to ice hockey, following the first time losing in a shutout fashion at home since January 2024, the women's ice hockey team looked to rebound in the Nutmeg Classic, taking on UConn. The 2 teams matching up in the regular season for the first time since the 2023 Nutmeg Classic. No action in the first, so into the second we go. Huskies in attack mode. The puck will find Kyla Josefovic. She gets that one past Felicia Frank, and UConn jumps up on the board first to take the 1-0 lead. About 6 minutes later, Quinnipiac back on the attack. Kaylin LaMarche whiffs, but Tessa Hulk picks it up and puts that one in to the back of the net. The game is tied near the middle of the frame at 1. A couple minutes later, UConn wants to lead back, and Ashley Allard will get that one, deke around Mia Lapata, and put that one past Frank on the short side. Allard adds a goal in her 2nd straight game. She takes the Huskies into the intermission, going into the 3rd period, up 2-1 thanks to her deke. Just about a minute and a half into the 3rd, Emerson Jarvis finds Zoe Ewens. She rips a shot that goes just over the goalie's glove to put Quinnipiac back in a 2-2 tie. Ewens picks up her 4th of the season. Just 30 seconds later, Michaela Watson feeling the pressure, she turns it over, and Allard wide open in front gets her 2nd goal of the game to put the Huskies back in the lead in this back and forth contest. Now halfway through the 3rd, Emerson Jarvis will drop it to Michaela Watson. She takes a shot, it deflects off Taylor Bruschi and into the back of the net. Bruschi gets her 2nd goal of the season, and this game is tied yet again. Just 5 minutes later, Laurence Fournette tries to break the puck out of the zone herself. She gets her pocket picked, and here comes UConn. Brooke Campbell will find Megan Woodworth, who goes to the backhand and gets it past Frank. UConn would lead this game 4-3, and that score would hold till the end. The Huskies defend home ice, eliminating the Bobcats from Nutmeg Championship contention. Both goalies put up a stellar performance, with Felicia Frank making 29 saves and Tia Chan notching 40 saves herself.
The team found themselves in uncharted territory following the loss. Q30's Anthony Rossi has more.
Heartbreak in the Nutmeg Classic for the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team, but this time not in the championship game, as they don't advance there for the first time since 2016.
UConn played a great game today. I think they did a great job capitalizing on their opportunities, and proud of our effort. I really think, offensively, we played the kind of game that you'd need to play to win a championship. I just don't think that we had it defensively today.
Though the Bobcats didn't have their most favorable defensive game, their defensive pairings had a really good offensive game, scoring 2 of the 3 goals that the team had.
They were shot ready. They were ready to fire the puck. We had a number of opportunities off the pass. And I think they were deceptive, which is what we asked of them.
After every single UConn goal, Quinnipiac was able to fire back and tie the game up each time. This is something that the coaching staff was impressed with and has been impressed with throughout the entire season.
They've had that all year, they just have a fight to battle back, and I think today was very much like that. I want to see us not settle when we battle back to tie it up and be hungry to go take the lead, and I think that's a step for us. But like I said before, I think we just need to clean up defensively some of the pieces that are going to help us to win games like that.
Now the Bobcats will look to take something out of their Nutmeg Classic campaign, as they will play in the consolation game on Saturday at 3 p.m. Reporting from Toscano Family Ice Forum in Stores, Connecticut, Anthony Rossi, Q30 Sports.
Thanks, Anthony. After the UConn loss, the Bobcats took on the Sacred Heart Pioneers in the consolation game. Quinnipiac looking to snap a 3-game skid, remain undefeated all-time against Sacred Heart. Let's get into the first period. Michaela Watson coming out of the gates firing as she sneaks one by a Pioneer and finds Kaylin LaMarche for the first goal of the game. Quinnipiac up 1-0 into the second. Sacred Heart trying to even it up with a backhand shot from Alyssa Antonakis, but Felicia Frank denies the try. Will stay in the second period. Watson on the other end, trying to give Quinnipiac a 2-0 cushion. Sacred Heart holds strong, same score into the third now. Laurence Fournette keeping the offensive pressure on Sacred Heart, but it's fired right into the chest of Jillian Petruno. But Kaylin LaMarche in the third has the game on her stick and puts it away. That's LaMarche's 21st goal of the season. Quinnipiac takes the consolation game over the Sacred Heart Pioneers 2-0. LaMarche with both goals on 14 shots. Quinnipiac will face number 8 ranked Cornell and Colgate this weekend.
After finishing in third place at the Nutmeg Classic, Quinnipiac stays put at number 9 in the USCHO poll. UConn, who took down both the Bobcats and the Yale Bulldogs, take home the Nutmeg, moved up to the number 1 spot to number 7. Yale moved into 5th place after previously being unranked. Cornell went 1-1-1 on the week with a tie to Syracuse, and a weekend split against Vermont falls to number 8 as they get ready to face the Bobcats at Liner Rink this Friday.
Switching to the court, it was college basketball feast week, and Tom Pecora's Bobcats pulled off an upset against a Power 4 opponent. Quinnipiac men's hoops traveled to Pittsburgh and beat the Pitt Panthers 83-75 despite being double-digit underdogs. The win was the Bobcats' first against a Power Conference opponent since 2014 and its first ever win against an ACC school. Amari Monroe, he led the way for the Bobcats with 25 points. Grant Randall added 15 points and 5 rebounds, and Ty Turnage off the bench with 7 assists.
After the big win at Pitt, the Bobcats traveled to Florida trying to stay perfect on the road trip against UCF. Quinnipiac was looking for their first ever win against a Big 12 opponent. The Bobcats had another strong start, leading at half by 5. But the Knights bounced back in the second half to win it 102-91. Huge games from Jaden Zimmerman and Samson Riley, who scored 26 and 17 points respectively.
After the UCF loss, Quinnipiac was able to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday before returning home to play Stonehill in Hamden on Sunday. Quinnipiac hosting Stonehill. It's its first home game since upsetting Pitt in the Legends Classic, and Tom Pecora's squad got off to a bit of a slow start, but Amari Monroe, he put the team on his back early. That one made it 10-10, but next possession, Stonehill answered. Raymond Espinal Guzman puts the Skyhawks up 13-10. It was back and forth in the first. Jaden Zimmerman answered the call, though, with a corner three. That put the Bobcats up 18-16, and Quinnipiac started pulling away before the half. It was a big contribution from Asim Jones. Quinnipiac led it 41-32 at the break, but the Skyhawks hung around thanks to Herman Coffey's 15 points. Ty Turnage would add to the lead for Quinnipiac. They were up 64-45 after the big-time three, and Turnage again. On defense, he gets the deflection, and Amari Monroe in transition, that's his bread and butter. He slams it home. The Bobcats win it 76-62 over Stonehill. Another big win for Tom Pecora's squad. Jaden Zimmerman with 22 points and Asim Jones with 18.
Asim Jones set his career high in points against Stonehill and is starting to find his footing here in Hamden. Q30's Ben Rikavicius has the story.
It's always difficult moving to a new place. Senior guard Asim Jones has been steadily improving in his new role at Quinnipiac.
He can score the ball in different ways than Sam can or Ty can. He can finish it.
Over Stonehill, everything clicked for Jones. A season high of 18 points to go alongside only one turnover. Zimmerman can see Jones's confidence rising.
That's just installing confidence. Like, he had a couple games where he probably wasn't scoring the ball as much, but he never try to put his head down. If he do, I'm there to pick him up because that's like my brother. I hang around him the most on the team, so we just try our best to pick each other up.
While Jones has been starting each game at the point for the Bobcats, Pecora has found ways to get him different looks off ball. A group that sees Ty Turnage and Jones sharing time on the court has its pros and cons.
They're fresh. I think they're both heady point guards, in different ways. It hurts you defensively a little bit with him because they're going to bury him and they're going to take him to the rim because of his size, and he's got to get bigger and stronger over time. But Asim can take that away. So it's like playing with a two-headed monster there.
A tall task is on deck for the Bobcats. They travel to New Rochelle to take on Iona on Friday. A talented backcourt awaits them. For Q30 Sports, I'm Ben Rikavicius.
Thanks, Ben. It's time for our first break of the evening, but coming up, we will have an update on how the men's ice hockey team did to close out their 5-game homestand at M&T Bank Arena.
And Brittney Bronleben will join us at the desk for our annual Sports Paws Holiday Hoops. That'll update you on both the men's and women's basketball teams. Sports Paws, we'll be right back.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Of course.
Yes. Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right? I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own. And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Do you enjoy debating Quinnipiac sports?
That's all flash, no cash. She didn't net it in the back of the net. That's not even a goal.
What are you doing pulling out Ryan?
Brady, that's like a crossover with a missed layup.
Bobcat Breakdown is the place for you, with debate, analysis, and so much more.
Matej Marinov. He is good, but oh man, is he bad. And
that team is amazing. How do you not put fish on women's volley?
Tune in to Bobcat Breakdown every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. on Q30TV.com/watch.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Women's basketball beat reporter Brittney Bronleben is here with us to talk all things women's basketball for Holiday Hoops. Brittney, the starting lineup has been a question all year long. Who is more valuable in the starting five, Anna Foley or Sydney Ryan?
I'm going to have to say Sydney Ryan. She really stepped up in the Yale game. She had 13 rebounds, led the team in rebounds that night, and 13 points. She's just been really aggressive on the offensive and defensive side and really made an impact for this team. And she plays really great with her sister, Ella Ryan. So both of them in the starting lineup, they have the chemistry. They're already working great with each other. And it's better that we have Anna Foley on the bench. She's going to be that sixth player off, and she makes an impact because instead of going straight into the game, she's kind of seeing the court, what position she has to play, and just been really helpful impacting the team.
Now, Beckett, on the men's side, who has improved more, Jaden Zimmerman or Grant Randall from year 1 to 2?
Yeah, Eli, I heard this question. I thought about expectations, right? I think Jaden Zimmerman is a fantastic player. He was great last year, but I think Grant Randall has improved more. Grant Randall has been a fantastic defender last season, but look at his role. He's been a starter every game so far this season for the Bobcats, and he has shown that leap from beyond the arc. He's become a shooter for Quinnipiac, and that's something that he really struggled with last year and focused on in the offseason. Jaden Zimmerman's a great player, but give me Grant Randall as the most improved player on this team.
All right, now, Brittney, we just talked about the starting rotation. When Carson Martin returns, what impact does that have for that rotation?
Yeah, when Carson Martin returns, she's going to be a starter for this team. She's a true shooting guard. Last year, she really proved herself. She had 102 rebounds, and she shot 41% from the field. She's just that all-around player that the team really needs. So players like Paige Girardi, Maria Keeley, and Ava Selene, they're going to be struggling for minutes as a 7-man off the bench. They're going to have to be playing the best games possible and really earning those minutes because they already share it now. So now getting Carson Martin back to the lineup, they're going to be fighting for those minutes.
Beckett, we saw Sam Nosakar get his first minutes on Sunday against Stonehill. What role will he play through the rest of the year?
Yeah, Brittney's talking about depth and rotations, and this Bobcats team on the men's side, Tom Pecora's squad, they've got a lot of it. They've got 11, 12, maybe even 13 guys now with Nosakar and Ritvo coming back and on the mend. They're going to play a lot, right? They're all fighting for rotational minutes. Nosakar's a guy that is going to get rotational minutes. I'm very confident in that. Before he had this injury, he was, beating out Spencer Way for that starting job. Right now, he's on a minutes restriction, kind of easing his way in. He's a true first year, trying to get used to this college experience in Division I college basketball level, but he's a guy who could play a lot of valuable minutes this year for Quinnipiac.
Brittney, now for our final women's basketball question, how does this team finally put together a full 40-minute game?
Yeah, head coach Trisha Fabry talks about it all the time in the press conference. It's a mindset thing. They just have to get there. They're still a team. They're still learning their positions, what role each player plays. But it's a mindset. They have to play the entire game. They're getting too comfortable with giving leads and not fighting back. Or when they have a lead, it's only a little margin. They're just uncomfortable with that. But you have to be uncomfortable. You can't let other teams fight back in the game. And when they're down and they're working their way back up, it's a little bit too late. So they just have to, fight the entire game, not kind of give up.
Beckett, for our final question of Holiday Hoops, Sim Jones, is he capable of being that third scoring option for this Bobcats team?
Yeah, Eli, I think he is. I really do think he is. I think Amari Monroe and Jaden Zimmerman, they're the clear top two. But a lot of championship basketball teams, everyone talks about the big three, right? Sim Jones is that guy that needs to take a step up for this squad, and he did that in the last game against Stonehill. He's someone who I think can be that third scoring option because he's so good at creating for himself and getting downhill. The only thing that I think Sim Jones needs to improve on is that shot selection. We saw that in the last game for the Bobcats.
Well, Brittney, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you both for your analysis. But that is all the time we have tonight for Holiday Hoops.
Switching from the court to the ice following the men's ice hockey team's first weekend sweep of the year against Clarkson and St. Lawrence, they battled Holy Cross for the second time this season. Quinnipiac slipped away with a 7-6 win. The Bobcats went up by 3 goals twice before letting the Crusaders back in the game, leading to Andon Sorbone's overtime winner. Ethan Wittenbach continued his dominance with 4 points on 2 goals and 2 assists. Matt DeBoer added a hat trick for Holy Cross to keep the game close.
Following that back-and-forth game against the Crusaders, the Bobcats were looking to finish their 5-game homestand, going 5 for 5. Stonehill coming into Hamden off an impressive 3-3 tie against number 12 UConn, where they took it in the shootout. Getting into the first period, the Bobcats on their second power play of the game, and Marcus Vidicek would follow his own rebound to put the Bobcats up 1-0 just 3 minutes into this game. Now, after a sleepy second period, Quinnipiac's defense was not up to the task in the third. Stonehill would capitalize on a Graham Sword turnover as Matt Romer would sneak it short side on Matej Marinov to tie this one up at 1. Every hockey player's biggest nightmare, Dominic Camponier, gets credited with the goal off a Charlie Letty own goal, and Stonehill finds their first lead of the night with 7:14 to go in this one. The Bobcats not out of it though, empty net, and Marcus Vidicek will tap home the netter to tie this one up at 2 with just under 3 minutes to go. Just under 30 seconds later, Quinnipiac again on the attack, and it's the unsung hero, Elliot Gronwald, gets that one in with just under 2:30 to go. Quinnipiac finds their lead back at 3-2, and Stonehill, they would now find themselves in desperation mode. A puck battle in the corner. Pat Murphy will get this one on a golden platter, but Matej Marinov makes the save with 10 seconds to go. The Bobcats clear it, and their late comeback would be enough to slip away with the win as they start perfect on home ice. The two first-year phenoms continue as Ethan Wittenbach and Marcus Vidicek each tallied 2 points.
After his 6-point week, Ethan Wittenbach was named ECAC Hockey Rookie of the Week. The Bobcats forward is on a tear, leading all NCAA first years with 22 points. That's good for 6th in the country. The true first year also holds the longest active point streak in the NCAA at 8 games. Wittenbach's success has been crucial for the Bobcats. He's recorded a point in all but one of Quinnipiac's 11 wins this year.
Following Quinnipiac's 2-0 week, the Bobcats stay put at number 8 in the USCHO poll as the top team across the East Coast. ECAC foe Dartmouth jumps into the top 10, also receiving one first-place vote as they stay undefeated at 8-0. The top 3 remains the same, with the big 3 teams leading the poll. The Union Garnet Chargers, who Quinnipiac will face this weekend, is sitting just outside the top 20 with 57 votes. Now, with winter break approaching and both ice hockey teams heading into their last weekend before the holiday break, we asked you what questions you had.
Q30's Spencer, Decker, and Nick Olsen, they're live in the Piazza to break it all down.
Thanks, guys. We got some questions from some former and current Q30 members. We're going to start on women's ice hockey side. First question comes from Sam Kaplan. In terms of goalkeeping, Felicia Frank has played well so far, especially during the undefeated start to the season. How did the Bobcats prepare her for a demanding stretch of the season and then for playoffs? Should they start either the backup goalies to allow for Felicia Frank to rest? I believe they should start some of the backup goalies, and if it's going to happen later into the schedule after that Northern Ireland series. I could see maybe Callie Hogarth getting a start up in Northern Ireland, but that's where some tough teams are going to be playing. If it's going to happen, it's going to be in that RPI Union series. That's 2 teams that Quinnipiac played very well against at home. It was an 8-0 and 6-1 win, respectively, against those 2 teams. So I can see it happening there, but Felicia Frank, she's been playing out of her mind so far, and it is going to be a very demanding stretch for her. But if anything, I could see her going out and getting a lot of minutes later into the season. If she's going to rest, it's going to be after you have that jet lag coming over from Belfast. But ultimately, she is a true starter of this team, and Callie Hogarth showed some inconsistency early in the season, so I see her making most of the games.
Our first question for the men's side coming in from Josh August. Who is an unexpected player that can play a key role in the team's success in the middle to later parts of the season? I look to a guy like Marcus Vidicek. He's been overshadowed by some of the other first years, but he's taken that huge step. He's scored in each of his last 5 games for the longest stretch in the country. He plays both sides of the puck very well and playing on that top line, so head coach Rand Pecknold really trusts him to go out there and play top offensive minutes, as well as shut down another team's top line. And he's really been getting physical, getting in front of the net, getting key deflections.
Yeah, especially late into ECAC play, it's going to be huge. Our next question comes from Zach Stokinger, and his question is about Kaylin LaMarche. And with her starting the season with 28 points through November 28th, if teams find a way to shut LaMarche down, who should the Bobcats turn to in the offensive zone? I will say, Zach, I don't know if they're going to be able to shut LaMarche down because she is a wonderful player, but if they're going to shut her down, it's going to happen because Jod Barbariti will have to step in as well. First year, who is back in the lineup now, she's going to get some first-line minutes, and also Tessa Hulk. So it was really, in my opinion, the X factor of this team. She is somebody who can go out there and dish out dimes, or she's also going to be giving you a hat trick type of performance. She has 7 goals and 6 assists right now. She's a very balanced player, and if anybody's going to take over this team, I know she's lower on the chart in points, but if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be her.
Yeah, we've seen her dominate before. Our final question on the men's side now, coming in from Gage Kilborn. Earlier this season, Coach Rand Pecknold made a comment about the team not being bought into the culture. This got me thinking about the 2023 team and how the team was a family. Do you think with the transfer portal and the NIL, players will not want to buy into the culture? So, Gage, the Bobcats don't heavily rely on the transfer portal like a lot of other teams, right? They only have 1 transfer this season in Will Gilson, and we've seen times where they use the transfer portal to their advantage, though. Like, they needed an offensive defenseman in Will Gilson, they got that this year. We've seen when they got Colin Graff, they needed a skilled winger. And also, I think Coach Rand Pecknold relies on grabbing these first years and developing them into skilled players down the line, and they often go to play at professionals. So you don't see the guys like, Cole Eiserman or Gavin McKenna, but they still have very talented guys that make an impact. So
absolutely.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have left for the hockey mailbag segment. Back to the guys at the desk.
Thanks, Spencer and Nick. It's time for our final break of the evening, but when we return, we will update you on who will be joining the men's ice hockey program in the near future. Beckett, there might be some good recruits coming up for Rand Pecknold.
Yeah, plus we're going to have the top 10 plays of the semester. You're not going to want to miss it. I wonder what plays are going to be making an appearance in this semester's recap.
Guys! We had to make a commercial for #that right now. What do we do?
How long do we have? We only had 2 months to do this.
We could explain that it's a pop culture news show that covers everything from movies, music, and video games.
Yeah, and we can also talk about how there's pre-recorded segments that vary from reviews to in-depth discussions.
We should also mention that it broadcasts live every Monday at 7 p.m. on q30tv.com/watch.
I think that covers everything. Did you guys get that down?
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
They're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. It's time for the final block of the semester. The men's ice hockey team has added 3 recruits, 2 from the Ontario Hockey League, and Alex Kostov and Gabriel Fraskov. Kostov currently plays for the Flint Firebirds and is scoring over a point per game with 31 points in 22 games. Fraska plays for the Erie Otters and wears the captain's patch on his chest. The third signing is Caden Donia. The 2008 birth year plays for the East Coast Militia U18 team and has 21 points in 25 games as a defenseman.
Quinnipiac field hockey head coach Nina Klein earned a national opportunity coming off a successful season with the Bobcats. Klein, she's going to coach the Team USA U16 team. That training camp will begin December 5th in Charlotte. Klein has previously participated in and attended multiple Team USA camps. She led the Bobcats to a 10-8 record. That's impressive this past season. Their first 10-win season since 2013.
The women's indoor track and field team was named second in the MAC preseason poll that was released earlier this morning. The number 1 seed goes to the Rider Bronx, who got the best of the Bobcats in last year's MAC championship by a slim margin. Rider received 11 out of the 13 votes, and Quinnipiac picked up the other 2 votes. In-state rival Sacred Heart is right behind the Bobcats to close out the top 3. The Bobcats start their season this weekend in New Haven for the Yale season opener. Now, Beckett, I know we usually do top 5, but I'm in the holiday spirit here on desk, so why not double the fun?
Eli, from top 5 to top 10, let's see how many Quinnipiac teams are featured.
Starting off with play 10 to the field hockey pitch, Rose Van Koolen juggles the ball and bats it out of midair to get it into the back of the net. Quinnipiac would win that one 2-zip.
Play 9 on the ice, first weekend of the season for women's puck. Michaela Watson falling down, scores over the glove side of the goalie. Bobcats swept that weekend.
Play 8 men's ice hockey opener, first year connection Ethan Wittenbach to Matthew Lansing. Lansing scores his first goal in a 4-3 opening win.
To the soccer pitch for play 7, Quinnipiac, Siena. Captain Alex Miller sends a rocket from outside the box. That was the game winner.
Staying with soccer for play 6, Corey Anderson crosses the ball into the box. Madison Alves with the acrobatics to get that one over the goal line. Here's another angle. Just a gorgeous play from Quinnipiac as they would tie 1-1 against ACC foe Syracuse.
Play 5 here. The volleyball court. Damla Ganesh only needs one hand to set the ball to her twin Yamur. The Turks combine for the kill. Quinnipiac gets the sweep against Siena.
Back on the ice, BU versus QU. Cole Iserman with a one-timer and Matej Marinov flashes the glove to rob him. Quinnipiac would win 6-2 over the Terriers.
Play 3, still on the ice. Tessa Holt drops to Laurence Burnett. She toe drags a defender and Holt finishes the play. Bobcats sweep another weekend.
Heading up to Niagara for play 2, we talked about acrobatics earlier. How about that one from Ginevra Giovagnoni and Elena Giacomini gets the kill. Quinnipiac would win their second straight game on the road in Niagara.
Eli, the top play of the semester. It's a shootout versus Maine. Ethan Wittenbach puts on a show, dangles around Albin Boya, and scores a highlight reel goal. That goal was the difference in the shootout. Thank you all for watching this week's episode of Sports Paws. We would like to thank the producers and everyone working hard behind the scenes. Make sure you stay up to date on all things Quinnipiac sports by following Q30 Sports on X and Instagram, along with the website at q30tv.com.
Sports Paws will be off air for the holiday season, but we'll be back on January 26th. For Beckett, Calkins, I'm Eli Ehlers. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and have a great winter break, Bobcats.